Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers in London. Now on this sunny September day I am recording a review of an excellent book which we've looked at in the past from Jordan Publishing. This book is on family law. It's the Hershman and McFarlane Children Act Handbook for 2015 to 16. It's now available also as an ebook. And as I've indicated, we have reviewed this title before, part of the family law imprint of Jordan's. My wife Elizabeth and I looked at the book and we've given it a title for our written review, which is in the journals and on the web. We've called it Indispensable for Family Law Practitioners. The latest annual edition of the Children Act Handbook is out now. Now, before I show you, I'll actually deal with the review itself, let me show you the book. It's a paperback. Again, it's quite a heavy one. It's a little paperback. There's the spine. You can see that's what it is. And then on the back, you've got just a very small amount of information. Now, you have got some shaded areas, so you should be able to find things quite quickly. The first part is actually the statutes. Then the second part is the statutory instruments. And then a bit at the end of practice guidance. So you see the three, if you can just see those there. The back of it, there's a nice little calendar, very useful for the judiciary when we're looking at dates for next hearings and previous calendar dates too. And then you don't actually have any form of index because it's not really necessary because of the nature of this book. What you've got though is here's the front section. The question then is how do you find things? There's the front page. They've indicated there's a preface to the very first edition which appeared in 2001. Now I'm recording this 2015, so a lot of water has passed under the bridge. There is the contents section there, and that's where you're going to find the information you're looking for. So you've got the main statutes, then the SIs, then the practice guidance. And in fact, the contents section is not particularly big. So you shouldn't have too much difficulty finding what you're looking for. And this book does appear in court. You will see it around, so it's a very useful book for the judiciary. The way it's structured, we start off, for instance, with the Adoption and Children Act 2002, and that's the Act of Parliament, and you can see how it's set out. It's a standard form of setting out. And then you've got all of the basic information which is contained all the way through, and then running through, you've got a lot of detail. You've got the family procedure rules in all its glory, a lot of detail there. And then you've got, after that, you've got the, right at the back, I'll get there in the end, you've got a little glossary right at the back, but you've also got the practice directions as well. So all in all, you've got everything you really need when you're dealing with Children Act matters, as up to date as it can be, within the England and Wales jurisdiction, I hasten to add. Now this is what we say about the new Hershman and McFarlane. It's now in its latest edition for 2015 to 16, and this book is the answer to the family lawyers practitioners' prayer for a handy portable reference book to key children proceedings legislation and related guidance. We can't all possibly remember everything, and we're hardly likely to be taking the family court practice well, we will take it with us and it'll have it available, but we're hardly likely when we've got the client probably to open that one. We'll have it there with us, but this book is a much lighter one and it probably goes directly to what you may have depending on the type of case you're involved in. But as I say, you certainly will have other books too, but this one I think is particularly helpful because it's dealing with very, very narrow areas within the family jurisdiction, which of course is, if you have that sort of practice, and I certainly have, you do need to make reference because it's not the easiest thing to remember some of the statutory provisions in this day and age. The book's been published, as I've indicated, by a family law, which is the imprint of Jordan Publishing Limited, based in Bristol. And it's a long established work of reference now, been with us since, as I've indicated, 2001, so it's 14 years old now, and it contains the relevant and completely up-to-date legislation accompanied by expert commentary where appropriate. So you have at your fingertips the consolidated and fully amended texts of the Children Act 1989, as amended of course, as I've said, the relevant provisions of the Family Procedure Rules 2010, which makes quite a large middle section actually of the book, and the supporting practice directions. Again, it's worth having a quick look at them. At least they're there. This is a little, the Family Court practice is excellent, but it's much more detailed. This is a little bit less detailed, and it's probably much more helpful if you're under pressure with the client. That's really one of the suggestions I would make, depending on what you're actually doing. So, considering the complexity and sensitivity of this area of law and the resulting pressure it places on practitioners, this book has been purpose designed for use in court. In the majority of cases, it will save you time trawling through cumbersome multi-volume loose-leaf reference works, which you've all had to do. Obviously, you will need, as I say, the Red Book as well. In the majority of cases, as I've indicated, I think you will probably find what you're looking for here, rather than going on, but it depends on what it's about. It's authoritative, obviously, and it's a very reliable book, which means you can more easily adjust to the changes which have been brought about by the continually changing family court structure. We've got the new structure now, which has come in. It seems to be working pretty well, touch wood, and this book, I think, will again assist you in what is for a lot of us a bit of a new adventure again. The book's divided into 3 parts, and I've shown you the shaded areas, which indicates the scope of the content and the specific contents. Parts 1 and 2 present statutes and SIs, then part 3 has the practice guidance, which is, we think, of particular benefit to the everyday work of the practitioner and advisor. And as for case law authorities, you will of course need to research these separately as appropriate. It's an easy to use consolidation of current legislation, which is at your fingertips, and also includes the practice guidance on children matters. And the book is updated each year now and issued as part of a subscription package to all subscribers to Children Law and Practice, which I think is a good step forward. Jordans give us a great service, there's no question about it, both as members of the judiciary and as lawyers. We place a great reliance on the availability of their materials, and this is another one that just makes our lives easier, and I'm very grateful and I thank them for that. Or if you don't wish, of course, then to subscribe for the particular service, you needn't, because you can get this book just on its own if you want to. You can order it as a non-subscriber, therefore, and you can also access it, as I've indicated, probably as an ebook website service. I haven't used that myself, but I understand it's very good. Let me conclude by saying that judges and social workers in this field, as well as child law practitioners, or indeed anyone professionally involved in children and family matters, will find this title, I think, indispensable, especially with its new edition, because it's got what we have before we see possibly any further changes in this current Parliament from 2015 to 2020. The publication date is cited as at 2015. Just a quick zip through it again. There's the front, the side, and then the back. As I've indicated, you've got the shaded areas. You can see again the growth of the statutory instrument FPR side of it. The family procedure rules, in fact, are very well set out, and there are notes, again, they're specifically relevant, of course, to children. I'm very pleased with this book. I think probably it would have been nice to have some sort of index at the back, but there again, it may be a bit superfluous, because you have actually got a short, straightforward content section at the front, and you should be able to find what you want with ease. I say that because with other law books, you really do need an index and a detailed content section, but I think probably they've got away with it nicely. Probably saw that they didn't really need to have it. Thank you anyway to all concerned, though, for an excellent additional aid for all of us as practitioners. Very grateful for the work that's been put into it. Thank you. Bye-bye.